No, 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 they say. Hi. I'm a little verklempt. I'm a little emotional right now because I was just listening to Kenny Rogers' Love the World Away. I just put oil on my face, so that's why I'm so shiny. And I'm puffy because I had salt this week. Oh my gosh, look at what the salt does to me. Oh, it's like, why can't it make these? I'm just kidding. Woo! Okay, so where to begin? Where to begin? Where to begin? Let's ask Spirit because I'm getting a lot of energies. Okay. Because, sometimes I get so carried away that I'm not sure if I'm. Why am I leaning there? I can bring it over here. I guess because I wanted to keep the owl in. Maybe I need to go over here. Because last time I had you over here because I was cooking soup, and I'm doing a lot of stuff right now. But right now I'm making carrots to mix with my sauerkraut. It's gonna be so good. Yeah. Anyway, love the world away. I started crying because I'm like, oh, I love this song. I'm like, oh, Kenny, because he's gone. And then I thought, like, I remember I saw this video that asked Dolly Parton something about her and Kenny Rogers or something. She goes, oh no, Kenny and I definitely had a special bond. She's like, no, but I love my husband. And she's like, it was never like that. She goes, they're like my two strongest rocks. Like, I love them, but she's like, it wasn't like that. Anyway, I was thinking the other day that now that her husband is gone, I wonder what her world is like. Like, Kenny's gone, he's gone. She's at that age, like, a lot of people really, really close to her are like leaving. I almost can't look at myself because I feel like I, let's just say I look worse than I feel. You know what I mean? Like, to look at me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I look painful. But it's not. It's just, wow, it really gets me to see it though. Yeah. So, I started thinking about just this dynamic we have to attachment and rejection and relationships and friends and lovers and just how much programming we've had around that as well, and just like how much we still have to unpack. Like, it's like let's put it this way. I learned from experience because I traveled so much that when I travel, whether it's to the destination or I'm coming home, I unpack immediately, because I don't want to be going into my suitcase and looking for something. Like, I've done that, especially around the holidays when I'd come home and, you know, my mom would be like, oh, we have to go here, we have to go there. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's just like my suitcase became my dresser. And then over the years, I just was like, no, I need to do that. I just have to unpack. It makes me feel better. I like to know where things are. And it's a form of control, but it's also a form of security. The weather's really nice here today. I'm really struggling with this place, but it's teaching me so much too. So I'm grateful for the lessons, but while I'm in it right now, I'm like, motherfucker. So what drew me to all of this was, in the last several days, I've been going through some really serious inner child trauma stuff. And I think I've told you guys this before, I always know when spirit draws me to eat certain foods that, of course, I love them, but I know they're not good for me because they trigger certain things. And every time I think I get through something, I just go deeper into it. And I'm like, fuck. And it's so real. And it's so real. It's so real. I've also been spending a lot of time outside, which is why I asked Spirit, I'm like, can I go outside? They're like, no. Last few days I'm getting no, because I have to mow the grass and I have other things I have to do. And they're like, you cannot go outside every day the way, they're like, it's not summer yet. Like, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your skin. But also, while I've been doing that, I've been just going down these like really dark and dusty roads of places that, you know, like John Denver for sure. I have a lot of videos with John Denver, but lately they've been like really having me pull them out. And just so many things have been coming at me at once that every time I think I have a hold of something, it's like, oh no, no you don't, no you don't. And you know what? I think I'm gonna do some healing. Yeah. So I'm feeling like, these are heirloom carrots, by the way. I love heirloom food. Like, look at this fucking awesome carrot. I love how it's yellow and green. And they taste good. They all the different, there's different flavors. That's what I love about it. You know, we become so matchy uniform, like, you know, the way grocery stores and because I worked in advertising and in politics, that's why I have a really rough time. I mean, there's no way that spirit would put me in those realms and those jobs with those people if I wasn't meant to use it for something. And it's my knowledge. I mean, I would probably have the soul knowledge anyway, but I needed the knowledge of living through it so that I can really, you know, share that with people and say I helped with the fakery and the fuckery. Okay, that was my job. It was my job to get you to believe me. Why do you think I was so good at it? Because today I was reminded by a beautiful mouse. I got another fucking mouse in here. Third one or fourth one. And every time I think I'm good and everything's good and I don't know where they're coming in, but until we rip out the rest of these walls, it's got to be there. It's got to be there. And God knows what's under there. God knows. But what I'm saying is that today, I was really upset because I spent so much time yesterday cleaning, straightening, because I was like, motherfucker, I got another one. And lo and behold, I had to do it again this morning. So I walked around and I said, listen here, mouse. I'm like, this is my house. And I like, you know, and I said, I may be a white witch, but you don't want me. Wait, what did you say, Spirit? What did I say? Because it came out so naturally. It was so natural. And it wasn't with venom. See, I'm saying it with venom. That's probably why. Because they're showing us. That's why I'm wearing a lot of pink and heart chakra and unicorns and happy yay, yay, yay. Unicorns eating fucking cake. Because that's what we need right now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. And Kenny Rogers was singing Love the World Away. Because I said, I may be a white witch, but I can turn my blacks to the black. What? I could turn the black switch. There's something like that. And it came out so naturally that I was like, holy shit. I'm like, that's good. I should write that down. I'm like, I should do something about that. And they're like, you should do an episode about it while you're making food. And I'm like, hold on. Whenever I'm working with food, it's from growing up like with restaurant people. When you grow up with restaurant people, you start to be like really serious about like your hands and cross-contamination. And it's really just, you know, I mean, trust me, I've cleaned again today because that's what made me so frustrated. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I was going to do this yesterday after I cleaned, but I was kind of tired and I was like, I don't really feel like doing it right now. And yeah, so they came back, I had to clean again, and now I'm doing it because it needs to be done. But that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, is that, you know, it's like we can't get it twisted. You know, we all have our light and we all have our shadow. All of us, every being on this planet, you know, has a choice. Now, some animals, they say, oh, it's instinct. Yeah, but I've also seen animals that can make choices. You know, I see them making choices. I see them making conscious choices. You know, so it's like Why do you think the internet is like, I forget the number, but I heard that, and this is a fact, and I've heard it in many places from different sources that I trust. If the research is correct, that there are more sales in animal clothes than human. Think about that. You know what I mean? People make their animals very, 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 very human. Look at that, by the way. You see that? From working with the carrot. It's natural. That's exciting. That's what happened when I made this first one. The water turned. But it was really cool. It made my sauerkraut taste really yummy too. So I make my own sauerkraut, but sometimes, like especially this time of year when I'm kind of like, it's like hard enough for me to do anything. I like to go to good sources. Bubby's is one of my favorite. Just so you know, kosher is organic. They don't say that, but it is. It has to be. That's the whole point of it being kosher. And the Jewish people are very, damn it, I've been trying to get it open for a while. They're very serious about that. You know what I mean? Like it's a very sacred thing. So, of course, they probably eat other things too. But I mean, Hasidic Jews probably don't. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. But natural foods do help, especially after you have like I did, like this sad breakdown. And what's been really difficult is that I've been getting these vibes like, just be yourself. And I'm like, I am being myself. They're like, yeah, you are and you're not. I tend to slip into this angelic, like people pleasing thing without remembering that like I'm human here and I'm here to not be perfect and I'm here to, you know, have, you know, times where I'm really bloated and I don't feel good and I don't want to be on camera, but they're like, dude, it's fine. They're like, it's fine. Like you're beautiful the way you are. And it's funny because Geminis. Or I should say the twins. You know what's interesting about that? I have to show you this. Hold on. I'm going to get it. Okay. So I bought this painting from a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful angel. It's called Owl Medicine in Aqua. And her name is Zoe Radzinski. And she painted this in 2013. It's the same year I got my gypsy tattoo. And I was at my friend's house and I was like, she lived in a house, it was in Portland, Oregon. She lived in a house with all these different people, cool artists, different people. Actually, I was very blessed to be a part of that community. I didn't understand at the time, but I do now. Anyway, look at that. I walked into their house and I was like, holy shit. I'm like, look at that fucking painting. Like, it was like nothing else. The whole house was awesome and full of art, but like, it was like nothing existed except for this. And I was like, I have to have it. I have to have it. But it isn't until years later, now in 2025, that I realized that is, I used to think of it as like the twins of Gemini and like the owl of wisdom or whatever. But now when I look at it, Alder and I are twin flames, and I feel like that's me and Alder, and Bubba is the wise owl in the middle. Because look at the owl. Remember, I had this. That's Samson. He's one of my spirit guides. So, I'm like, I got my pants on inside out. Yeah, I'm in a really interesting place right now. And I'm loving it, and I'm appreciating it, and I'm understanding it, and trying not to look at it. Oh, I got it. Nice. Trying not to look at it in a negative way and look at things in a positive way, you know? When we look at things in a negative way, then that's all we're going to see. But if we look at the positive of it, then that's what we'll see. I'm trying to grab this without smushing in front of you there. Right? Oh, I wish you could smell this. I just made some amazing soup. Well, I've actually been making it. I should have brought you to the soup, but anyway, I just put a whole lemon in there. So it's lemon and heirloom noodles and some yams and tofu, lemongrass, spices, tons of spices, oil, nutritional yeast, liquid aminos. Just yummy. Really good. Lemongrass, I love it. So now I'm going to soak these carrots and hydrate them a little bit and clean them a little deeper. Then I'll set those aside, and when they're dry, I will, I'm going to start putting the sauerkraut into here and make room so that I could put, and it's like, I just keep rotating it, you know, while they marinate. And yeah, my gut buster foods, you know. I go down the road. I go down the road I don't want to fucking go down. I look at the things I don't want to see. And then that's when I see stuff like this. Like, this is like, whoa, 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 whoa. It's like an old version of myself. Plus, I used to always say whenever I was bloated or had weight on me, I looked like more like my family. And I know that sounds mean, but like, I didn't want to look like my family. Now I don't mind, like, whatever. It's like, we're blood and bone. I chose them. I'm beautiful. I'm blessed to have such great great lineage of, you know, blood and bone. But no, I'm starting to just see things through a different lens and through a different light. And when I heard myself say that to the mouse, I realized that's what it is. So many people are really trying to fight their dark side instead of letting the, you know, letting the light side in, the wisdom, letting the heart in. So we have to work through it to get to it, and we have to feel it. And I got this vibe from spirit that they were like, fortunately, unfortunately, because I'm so powerful, we're all powerful, but like I have been working at this every single day religiously, pun intended. I've been working at this every day for over a decade, intensely. And so I've gotten so, like, I know my powers and I know my gifts. So when spirit is stopping me from achieving a goal or getting to a place that I know I see myself there. Like, if it's very real, I get the indigestion, you're not there yet. You're not there yet. And that's okay, because I'm where I'm supposed to be. And I feel like I'm at the end of some level that is really hard to explain, but I get it. You know what I mean? So the next few years are just going to be super interesting, and I hope you hang in there with me. And thank you for walking with me, supporting me in all ways, and for supporting yourselves and walking with me. You are doing the work yourself. Recently, Spirit has brought certain things to light, and it made me understand things differently. I feel like I'll talk more about that later, but I just, like, right now, I'm like, I was in a perfect, before I started this, I was like in a perfect place to, like, I felt like I felt like the scarecrow. Where I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna talk about this, and I had everything like ready, and then they were like, smoke a little more. I'm like, oh no, I feel really good. I'm like pepped up, I'm good. I want to bring them the magic, you know. They're like, it's the last few days of the moon cycle, of the Aries moon, of the fire moon. We're moving into the new moon in Taurus. Whenever you watch this, it's always timeless, but they're like, give yourself time to relax. This morning, I felt like they were like gluing me to the bed. The mouse thing is interesting because I was like, well, I don't understand. I'm like, so you want me to stay there, but then you what? You just want me to live with their little fucking, like, I know that they were there because that's my, I became very OCD over my life. That's why a lot of my family are like, oh, you're autistic. I'm like, no, these were learned behaviors for survival, literally, because I didn't know why certain smells, basically every smell that, especially, you know, non-organic smells, you know, affected me so deeply on every level. you know. It's just intense, and I'm feeling it now. Like, I'm feeling it on such an intense level, and they're like fighting me to stop trying to keep it together. You know, I'm like, yeah, but I'm a leader. I'm like, I'm a fucking leader. If you keep telling me I'm a leader, then I'm only going to bring to them, you know, what they need when they need it. They'll go through their own shit. Like, I trust you guys enough to go through your own stuff, you know. And they're like, yes, but sometimes people need to look up to, or sometimes the people that people look up to need to fall apart in front of them so that they can understand that it's attainable. Because you've seen me go up and down. Like, you've seen me, sorry, I'm like trying not to hit this and stay in frame. Maybe I'll just go like this. um yeah, because now this weed, I'm like, what? I feel like more like, but I feel like that's what they're trying to show me. Like, they want, like, that's me. I'm not supposed to be perfect either. Earth angel, right? Will you be mine? Also, for some of us that are twin flames, it's really difficult going through the separation part if you don't lean on your community. And I know a lot of us tend to hide away, myself included. But I'm just getting this energy that to listen to ourselves and listen to the inner intuition, inner wisdom, the moon energy when she's talking. It's almost like I keep trying to talk myself out of or into the moon cycles when I'm in them. This is in the rest and the restore phase. But I'm still working, I'm still posting, you know, but Spirit's like, yes, but they're also like pushing me, color, go outside, listen to music, dance. Don't stay on your computer, don't stay on your phone. Laugh, do the things that make you happy, that make you joyful. Come from love. There's just so much out there right now. And I don't know if you can hear the birds. Listen to nature, get away from, you know, traffic, get away from, you know, everything. I can always tell when I'm antsy and I need to get out too. It's like I get to this point where I'm like, ah. But I can tell that the mouse was just another reminder that I need to do things the way they need to be done and not the way I think they need to be done. And here's the kicker. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I was like, what are these, super mice? I mean, I have literally put every essential oil you can think of, and the ones that they hate, all over everything. I've done almost everything but like douse it. And then I was like, what did I do to get rid of them before? Like, what? I was like, 'cause I remember I went through this before. I remember going through a lot of essential oils and being like, I can't fucking believe that. Luckily, the ants are staying away. That it's definitely helping with the ants. But then I remembered, oh yeah, it was the cayenne pepper. It was cayenne pepper and lavender. Mice hate those two things. And I've always had like a big heaping thing of lavender, especially last year. I bought like this, after the lavender festival, I had Alder pick me up like this big bag. It was like $25 from this local organic guy. It's crazy. It's like his little bags are like $10. You can get the big one for 25, and people don't get the big one. And I'm like, dude, it lasts me like 6 months, and that's with Alder and I splitting it. And every time I see him, I keep forgetting to get some lavender from him. So I realized, I'm like, I need lavender and cayenne pepper. Those are the two things that I finally did. And it's like, how is this eluding me? Like, I know this because I never had a mouse problem until we lived out in the country, when we lived on the farm with Sarah. And then Bubba, and on the farm that we lived on before that, we didn't, because they had farm cats and they had dire wolves and like all fucking cool shit. Like, they were working with dire wolves before it was legal to work with dire wolves. Because they're like, oh, look at our first dire wolf. I'm like, I know a lot of people who've been breeding dire wolves, not legally. But anyway, I digress. So we just didn't have, we were there for 6 months. We didn't have critter problems. And when we got to his mom's, it was the same thing. There were cats all over the place. So we just didn't really have a mouse problem. But at Sarah's, we did. And she had an old cat, like an old cat that just kind of laid around and slept. She didn't really do much. And so Bubba did her best, but there was just too many of them. And then I remember I didn't do cayenne pepper because I was worried about Bubba. Her paws and her getting it on her, it's just so horrible. So I tried to just, be really mindful and careful of like what I was doing. And whenever I sprayed the house, I made sure that Bubba was outside. I waited for it to dry like hours. And then she wasn't happy with it either, but I would spray like things that she did like lavender in her area. Well, as you know, since Bubba died, I just haven't been keeping up on things, and I'm doing my best. But, how we caught them or got rid of the mice is we realized that the 2 places that we thought were like, there must be a hole somewhere we can't get to. Same thing, like, unless you rip it out. But I saw this thing that said, if you have animals, put them under like places like behind cupboards, because that's where they're, So we found their trail. We tore some walls out. We found their trail and we put cayenne pepper there. They stopped. So I'm going to go to the co-op and get some real, like the good, fresh, organic ground cayenne pepper. And I'm also going to put it in a spray bottle and I'm going to spray it. I'm going to do another deep cleaning and I'm going to spray it in the rugs and all that. And I'm going to put it, when I wash the rugs, I'm going to put it in there. Because, yeah, I'm done with this shit. But I feel like that's what Spirit's saying is like, you have to do what works. I think, the other thing too that I think that they came up here is that I had taken the lids off of the essential oils and just like kind of kept them around, all the mint ones and the like the cinnamon based ones, and I had them all around like this. Here's an eucalyptus, lemongrass, all the things they hate. I put them around, and when I cleaned yesterday, I put the caps back on. So I don't know. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm working through it, and that's all I can say. I don't know when this will air, if this will air, but I did a really awesome picker reading, what you need to hear from Spirit right now. I did a picker reading yesterday or the day before. And I was like, when do you want me to put that out? And they've been blank. So stay tuned for that. I don't know when that's coming. Anyway, that's it. Just remember, you may be a white witch, but you got a dark switch. And it's our responsibility to know when to use it. It's like having a loaded gun, Spirit said. Our dark side, our shadow. It's there to protect us from harm. It's there to, it's connected to our ego. But unfortunately, the ego has run rampant and it's connected to the shadow. And people will take beauty and fame and money over, you know what I mean? Especially people who are like, yeah, you only have one life. You only have one life. Well, if you only have one life and people don't care, then they just think, oh, that's it. So I'm just going to do whatever the fuck I want. And that's their free will to do so. All right, I'm going to go. This went way longer than I thought. Have a blessed day. I love you, and I'll see you next time.